We've reached the finale of the war between the land and the sea. And as I suspected, it turned out to be a massive anticlimax. The first 3 episodes were really strong, but it just did not stick the landing. It all builds up to a huge conflict between humans and sea dwellers, but there's never any actual fighting, it's all just theoretical. Season finales are really not Russell T Davies' strong suit anymore, and I begin to hope he doesn't get the chance to write another one. At least next year's Doctor Who special is just 1 episode, so it might be okay. Let's hope so anyway. The episode starts with a group of Homo Aqua luring a village full of dogs, who are apparently all strays and not locked in houses like pet dogs are. They all get lured into a net and apparently eaten. Why sea dwellers would want to eat dogs, how they even knew dogs existed in the first place, is not clear. We don't even get to see them chowing down on the dogs, which would at least have been a memorable visual. Though no doubt animal lovers would have complained, as they do whenever any fictional dogs or cats end up dead, even though the real ones are obviously still alive. After this, a lot of the episode is mainly just Barclay in his hotel room. It's one of the most top security residences in the world, and yet he still manages to sneak out every night, drive to Herne Bay, shout in the ocean, wait until dawn, and then drive back. Does he never get any sleep? Or does he just sleep during the day? I guess he doesn't have a job anymore, so he probably could. Being the most famous person in the world, he has to have all his food and drink tested for poisons. I don't know why he moans about it, as he's getting free food and drink for the rest of his life. Sounds pretty good to me. But all he has to do is wave some device in front of it, so it magically detects any poisons, like a tricorder in Star Trek. It really doesn't seem that much of a hardship, and besides it doesn't even work, as the bad guys still manage to drug him and end up injecting him with something which is presumably the Severance virus. Named after that show that sounds like my kind of thing, but I can't afford yet another streaming service, so I've never seen it. It's actually left a little ambiguous as to how the virus actually spreads, which is laudable. It's good that not everything gets spelled out in detail, just for the viewers who are staring at their phones instead of paying attention, but it did leave some viewers confused as to what actually happened. It's understandable really, as it is basically the end of the entire war. And the next thing we see is hundreds of sea dweller corpses washing up on every shore in the world. It's certainly a shocking visual, but it's a very undramatic way of ending things. Units basically do nothing, apart from sending out the secret accord signal, which ends up making no difference. And Barclay is just the unwitting tool of the bad guys. Technically he does bring the war to an end, but without knowing anything about it. And the villains don't even get their comeuppance. We do see brief flashes of the Prime Minister being drowned in a shower, and the generals drowned in a car, but it's not clear if this is what will happen, or just their fantasies about what could happen. Either way, it's all very unsatisfying. There is a good payoff to all the endless conference scenes, as the entire hall ends up being flooded, which does look impressive, and it's lucky that they can just close the door on the torrent of water coming towards them, and it's as watertight as a submarine. Finally, Barclay's doctor has some alarming news. I was hoping that he would turn out to be pregnant with Salt's babies, like a seahorse, and the series could have ended with his hybrid spawn coming out of him somewhere and repopulating the oceans. That would have been a really weird but really interesting ending, opening up all sorts of story possibilities for the future. Instead, they go with the most obvious possible ending. Barclay grows gills and joins Salt in the sea. Presumably this is due to whatever Salt did to him when they were being intimate, rather than a side effect of the Severance virus. Either way, it's hopelessly predictable, as the exact same thing happened at the end of The Shape of Water, and apparently the movie Splash ends kind of similar. It does provide a slightly happier ending than the mass slaughter of the past hour, which would have been a really depressing way to end the series right before Christmas. Before the episode aired, Russell T Davies was enthusing about the end credits scene, which led some people to speculate that the Master could be coming back. Turns out it was just Kate Stewart pulling a gun on a little out, like an extreme advert for Keep Britain Tidy. She has been growing increasingly erratic over the course of the series, blackmailing her therapist into giving her more drugs, and at the end it looks like she's gone right over the edge. Whether we will even see the character again remains up in the air. Surely she can't remain head of unit after this. But she has certainly had a lot more focus in this show than she ever has in Doctor Who, and it's good that Gemma Redgrave got a more meatier role to play. Ultimately, the Doctor Who universe is not really affected by these events. Some Sea Dwellers still exist, so they could potentially bring them back in future stories, but they can still carry on making stories set on present-day Earth without having to mention their existence. Really, it was inevitable this would happen given the shared universe. Maybe they should have made this a separate project, and then they could have gone in a different direction, giving it a really strong and memorable ending where the entire world changes forever. As it is, this show will probably be remembered for having a promising start, some memorable visuals, but ultimately being a failure. Thank you for watching. The next new show in the Doctor Who universe will be the Christmas Special 2026, so join me for that. But in the meantime, I will be continuing my rewatch of Doctor Who from 2005 onwards every Monday on this channel. So please subscribe if you like the sound of that, and I'll see you next time.